Hey Mitch, finally after
Dude, it's so good
Absolutely,
to meet you and like talk to you in person. I know we've chatted a couple times already before.
man, absolutely.
How's your end of winter spring treating you so far going into the spring season?
Yeah, it's a good season to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Love plan wise, nothing has changed from our lives anyway. This is our life. We are in four walls all the time, so it's not
right.
something. You know, my life didn't change that much except from the gigs, which everything is cancelled and it's a mess.
Totally. I felt that way too when I had a lot of people ask me how are you doing during quarantine, and I was definitely like, well, I'm kind of used to this in the studio or in my bedroom working on music, so it was a little easier for me. But it's been a transition for sure. I know I'm playing one of our first shows in here in San Diego at the end of the month that Music is for Lovers we're doing, so that'll be exciting on a rooftop outside. Have
Okay,
you
that's
have
great.
you
That's great.
yeah, we're gonna try safety, of course, safety first. But have you had anything like that come up for you your way or
No, yet, not nothing yet.
okay?
Nothing. Everything is shut, and right now in Greece we have something like a third wave, let's say, and it's hitting really, really hard, really hard.
Okay. Are you? How's everything been in the like your like area, Greece, right? Southern Greece, everything's shut down where you're at currently.
Yeah, yeah. I live in Athens, and it's
Okay.
it's really bad. The whole country is in deep red.
So sorry to hear that, my dude. Because I
Yeah,
definitely feel for anybody that's in any kind of particular situation. I mean, you're my
absolutely,
friend over
man.
in Athens. I have friends in Berlin also that have been going through it. Andreas Hennenberg, Beth Liddy, those guys over there, Kevin Knapp. So I feel for all of our artist friends everywhere. But
Absolutely.
the reason that we're speaking today also is because even though, despite the circumstances, you're
Yeah.
staying busy, you have some awesome music tracks being released left and right. That's why I initially reached out to you because I remember your Desert Hearts release. I think we were on the compilation together last year.
Yeah.
What was
And
the
this is
title of
the
that?
thing. Last year, I took the decision of switching my alias and do this new Ekoboy project because, as you remember, I was writing music as Vangelis Kostoxenakis, which is impossible for you guys to pronounce.
Sure.
So, and it was last year, exactly last year that I took the decision to do it. It was just a little bit before the first wave lockdown and everything. And a lot of people ask me, why are you doing this? It's just a bad timing and everything. And it's just me. I just want to do whatever I think that it's right, and I don't care about the timing. I just do it.
Right.
And
And have you felt that way about release? It seems like you felt that way about releasing music also. Just doing
exactly,
it. I
yeah,
mean, there's no
yeah,
why slow down.
exactly, man. We have to work hard, and it's like with everything. If you stop it, then people are going to forget you, and you have to push. You have to keep pushing.
I fully believe that. I totally
A
agree with
lot
you.
of people, a lot of labels kept their things back, and with releases and everything. And I know a lot of producers that they told me that I'm not gonna release music or anything. I'm just gonna wait for this thing to pass, and then I'm just gonna release anything that I got. And it's a way of thinking, but honestly, I think that you should do what you do and
I,
continue writing music and everything.
Heck yeah. That's so yeah. Heck yeah. I totally agree with you. I had a record label recently ask me that. They're like, "How do you feel about releasing music right now?" And that's I was like, "What?" Yes. That's why I sent it to you. Let's do it. Let's get the music out there. That's the reason
Yeah.
I shopped it to begin with. Do you want to talk a bit about the name change from Vangelis to? Did I say that right? Vangelis or Vangelis?
Yeah, this is my birthday,
Okay.
and it's of course everybody knows the mighty Vangelis Papathanassiou, who is the writer of so many scores. And a lot of people told me
That's
just
epic.
switch it to just Vangelis, and I was like, are you serious? I'm not gonna do that. That's an
Right.
insult. And so I had to switch because the thing, when you sign records, it's fine. Nobody gives an F about the name. They just listen to the music, so it's okay. But when I had tracks being played in the radio, I had tracks played in podcasts and everything, and I was listening to the DJs and everybody was struggling that much. Then when it was time for gigs, that was a nightmare, man. Mitch, it was a nightmare. I went in Milan about a couple of years ago, and they didn't have enough letters to put in the bill.
Oh man.
They just put VK.
That's tough. That's got to be tough. I would probably see that and be a little bummed out myself. Yeah, man. I originally saw you on Dirty Bird back in the day, probably Dirty Bird Players like 1, dude. When I was, 2010, like probably a decade ago, man. It's been a while. And I definitely a couple times was like, dude, how do I pronounce that guy's name? He's got to be, But I kind of, and then I read up on you. I was like, okay, he's from Greece. That makes sense. Yeah, for sure. So you have if I didn't read correctly, though, you do have a couple different aliases, right? Fat Jack, Angel Stacks, Breaking Toys. No, is that you?
Yeah, I'm recording music since my first record was out in 1995, I believe, 1996.
Oh, wow.
So there's quite a long journey, and I'm still, inventing my sound and everything. I'm really humble when it comes to production. And so I keep learning things and everything. So through this course, I've changed a lot of aliases with different type of music and everything. But right now, I feel that what I'm doing is really expressing my whole thing as an artist.
That's awesome. And I know your sound quality is like superb, dude, for Ekoboy. It just is like another level of production quality, in my opinion. I mean, I definitely, as a producer, use your sample pack that we did the write-up on with Music is for Lovers.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Looped, I believe, is the name?
Yeah,
okay.
Looped. It's a new project. Part of my business, because I'm not only a producer, I'm a master for people, writing music for others, I'm mixing. I started sound engineering and music technology back in the day, so I have some skills when it comes for the business side of the things in terms of mixing and everything, all right? Sound designing it's a passion for me, creating sounds from scratch, and that's the reason I have machines and everything.
Yeah.
Because I really like to sculpt the sound and build it from scratch, and I've done about a dozen of sample packs, maybe more, for several labels. From the Loop Masters umbrella, for Tool Room and more, and I just thought I will do my own project now. I feel really I think it's the time to do it, because I have the experience. I know how it's done. You must have the know-how to sell a product that is complete and it's quality made. And right now we are like 7 people, each one specialized in a specific genre. For example, me and another friend of mine, Aliases, we are doing the tech house genre. There's another guy who's doing just synthwave, retro, that type of stuff. We have melodic techno sound designers. We have percussions and everything. So I believe in end of month we are finishing the developing of the site. It's going to be loopedsamples.com.
Okay.
And
we'll make sure to put that in the description for you too. I'll grab that for you.
Yeah. So hopefully, I expect for people to appreciate everything and the packages. It's gonna be fine. I'm telling you. You're gonna have the releases as promo anyway.
Dude, I mean, we'll definitely have to put a blog up for it on the website as well, because I know we did for the last one. That was pretty awesome. I know I had a couple friends that I sent the sample pack to, or like heard the sample pack, and they were like, dude, how do I get that? Sent them the link. I'm pretty sure they bought it. I mean, I don't know. They were about the audio quality for it for sure. So everything that you do is mainly focused around tech house, techno, and the Ekoboy sounds that you usually go for currently for the sample packs? Or are you doing other genres as well?
I did a synthwave type of sample pack.
Cool.
This last year that we were inside the house and couldn't do much and stayed inside,
Right.
I was listening to a lot. I was listening a lot of The Weeknd, and
Yes.
I just love him. His music is amazing. His producers are like next level. So I was really, from the whole thing that they're doing, especially from his last album, I was really inspired. So I'm also an 80s kid. So I created something which is really, really dope, and it's gonna be on the site soon.
Well, I'm really excited for that because I love 80s music. I'm not an 80s kid, but I definitely have an appreciation for the 80s music. Big Hall & Oates fan. Who kind of inspired you from the 80s for those sounds? Who were you into back in the 80s that you really liked?
First of all, the drums are like for the sample pack from the sample pack that I did. They're very inspired by Phil Collins and Quincy Jones. That type of.
That's epic.
With gated reverbs and reversed the reverbs and everything. Lots of 808s and it's crazy. I'm gonna send you. You're gonna love it.
Okay, cool. And then what about for the new one that you're working on right now? I know we got I think, is that a grandmother in the background, if I'm not mistaken? You got your modular rack in the background as well.
Yeah. That's the grandmother, and that's the sub 37.
Awesome.
And that's it's two 104 HP rows. This thing is, dude, it's like everything here costs like $6,000.
Yeah, that's next level modular rack right there. That's another level. I saw Wyatt Marshall and Lubelski and those guys are super into the modular rack stuff. And
and the thing is that I invented. I went into modular quite late, I would say. Because I'm 42 and I was always into external and everything and synths, blah blah blah. But for some silly reason, I was snobbing towards the modular. I was always into, if you're into modular, you must be vegan, live in Berlin, and have earrings and everything and stuff like that. I was like, ugh.
Yeah. So what made you flip the switch then? Like, did you see somebody? Because I know dude, anything kink posts, like on Instagram, I'm just instantly like modular, anything that guy's doing, kind of engineering, right? Like reverse engineering sounds, kind of the same stuff you're into. So what made you, was it somebody you saw? Was it the sounds you were trying to get out of modular gear?
Yeah, this is the thing with typical synthesizers is that they are based on subtractive synthesis, which is like, it's classic. It's an oscillator, which is going into a mixer, then a filter, then an ADSR, and that's it. So your abilities are quite, let's say, limited towards what the machine is offering, if I can say it like that. All right.
Yeah. Right.
The signal, the signal flow, it's like a line. All right. It's linear. With a modular, it's anything you can imagine. You can, if you know what the course of your signal flow is going, and where you should send it, and then it's going somewhere and it's coming out of somewhere else, and you can send it, and you know what you're doing, and then you can create amazing sounds, like really dope, crazy sounds. And to answer your question, I felt that my whole thing with the synths, with the classic synths, it was getting, how can I put it? It was done, I couldn't do more. I was doing everything.
Right.
With my synths.
Everything that you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, so I wanted to do something more. I wanted to create something more crazy. I don't know how to say it.
Well, I think
I'm
you
pretty sure
definitely
you understand what I mean.
No, I mean, I think the music speaks for itself when you hear Ekoboy tracks too, because a lot of the times you can hear those sounds come through sonically. I mean, I have a lot of friends that tell me all the day, like, hardware is the way to go. It takes your sound to the next level versus using DSPs or samples.
Mitch, the thing is that that's a risk also, because a lot of the times labels find this really intimidating. trust me, I've sent to labels tracks that I thought that they were dope and they had like super amazing sounds and everything, and they turned them down.
Sure.
Labels tend to want more classic stuff, Beatport top 100 stuff.
Right.
And this is a huge conversation, but
we can have that. We can talk about it a little bit. I mean, I definitely had that experience recently. I sent out a track to a record label. I won't say the record label. Asked them what they thought. They said it was dope. He said he would probably even play it in one of his sets.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to sign it because he's going for stuff that is like peak hour DJ set, anthem, vocals, pop. And it's just, I appreciate his being straightforward with me, also at the same time. So that way I don't just keep sending them tracks maybe that is going to be not for their fit or not for their style. But you're totally right. I mean, you can see a lot of big time producers or DJs out there that are hitting the Beatport charts that are using, you'll hear the same vocal maybe 3 or 4 times on the top 100.
Man, that's ridiculous.
Man.
I'm like, it's how you perceive music and how you perceive things as a person and as an artist and everything. And I'm not a fucking diva or something, I'm just saying that if I sell music, I want my fans and everybody that is buying my music to buy something original.
Right.
There's nothing to me when I listen to a track and it has a super saturated samples from the 90s that I don't know when, okay, and it's been reproduced 1,000 times. Just go, man, do something original.
Yeah, I appreciate originality. I appreciate people when they do try to resample or get samples cleared. One of my favorite tracks that has over the past 2 years that came out was the Justin Martin Strafe Set It Off remix. That's like probably one of the best in my examples work of originality and also doing a remix or another piece of work. But I'm all for originality. I follow artists in particular instead of record labels usually because of that. You have tracks coming out on your own record label pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken, or they already are recently out?
It's actually, it's today. It's coming out.
Talk of the Town?
Yeah, Talk of the Town. I also launched another label like a couple of months ago. Follow the Echo. It's a very personal label that I'm just gonna throw there all the weird, wonky, crazy stuff. So I'm not gonna do it for the money or anything. I'm just gonna put it out there
for the love of the game, man. For the love of the music.
Is a classic based label that signs quality music and everything.
Awesome.
And right now I have my own release coming out today, and there are several releases coming in the future.
What's the release that you have coming out today? It's on Talk of the Town. It's an EP?
Yeah. It's a single.
Oh, okay, cool. All original, anything inspired by that new production pack also on Looped, or?
Actually, this track was made, I think 5-6 months ago.
Okay.
So I didn't back then I didn't have the idea of launching a samples label.
Sure. Well, I mean, one of the fortunate things about this interview is that we actually have you in your studio. A lot of the things that I do like to talk about we could talk about shows, we could talk about releases, we could talk about whatever it is Ekoboy wants to talk about. I love music. I love production. Maybe if we were talking to some like producers out there right now, I mean, I know I see the UAD sound card in the back, some pretty cool monitors as well. Anybody that's kind of new or upcoming, I mean, you probably get a lot of messages in your inbox asking you to tech questions, tips, tricks, I don't know, anything. Do you have any tips for producers right now or people that are trying to make music in this state?
Great question, Mitch, because I get a lot of questions in my Instagram inbox because that's the medium.
I believe it, dude. I believe it, yeah.
I use a lot Instagram for, we don't have anything else to promote our work at the moment. So being in the studio anyway, I'm uploading a lot of upcoming tracks or whatever. So there are a lot of people that are asking me about what do you use, how do you make this sound, etc., etc. So to answer your question, now you're asking a synth gig. I don't believe that you can do what you can do with external instruments, that you can do the same thing with in the box. So I strongly suggest to somebody who is starting to not to go big from the beginning, because there are so many companies out there that provide really good quality instruments for small money. And take in account, for example, Behringer at the moment. They're doing all these clones. The cost is ridiculous, man. It's like you can buy clones of instruments that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. You can buy them for $200-300. I mean, you can have an original Model B sound, and you will spend like $300, and that's crazy, man, because you get all the Moog sound right there. I'm not saying that it's maybe ethically it's right or wrong. This is not a discussion. I'm not.
Yeah, I won't have that discussion. I'm cool with it, because if I can get that yellow TD3 for $149, I'm kind of cool with that. I don't know. That's cool. So you probably, I know when I was younger or first up and coming, I was asking like, how do you make that bass, or how do you do this? How do you get your bass to sound like that? I think a lot of people are doing those production classes right now. IO Music Academy master classes have been super popular during quarantine. Have you done anything like that yourself? Have you given any of those online courses throughout like the week, like a 5-day?
I'm doing courses for about 5 years now. I've educated more than 20 people through Zoom or Skype, and before quarantine, we did it physically. In Sonic Academy, I've done like a couple.
Cool.
I think the last one was last year. I'm not sure, but yeah. I'm doing this. It's part of the business. It's part of the
for
business.
sure. I imagine probably maybe through Looped you might offer something like that in the future even. That'd be super cool, classes even through Looped.
There are so many stuff that you can do. This is the thing, we sometimes we think that having a website it's obsolete or whatever, but having a website you can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think there will be a lot of stuff from seminars to freebies, free samples, because I know everybody loves free samples. And so we're going to have free samples, merchandise, hats, shirts, and everything. So it's going to be like the full package.
Nice. What so for releases, do you have anything, because we're still talking about tracks, do you have anything in the pipeline that is pretty big, up and coming, maybe some maybe stuff you probably can't talk about, but anything that you're looking forward in the future?
Yeah, I have all my schedule up until July. Every month there's a release.
Nice.
And I'm coming now from a Solar release and a Repopulate Mars. And I have another one on Superfet. Then it's coming another one on Gene Farris Ferris Wheel. I don't remember the rest.
That's okay, no worries. Definitely. I figured you did though. That's why I wanted to bring it up. You're always releasing music left and right.
Yeah.
And with the future too, I mean, we don't really know what that's holding for shows or anything like that. But have you been? I think you did one live stream with Dirty Bird, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The holiday one. We were on that lineup together. That's why I saw you on the Christmas lineup. We did that weekend. How have you been playing a lot at home?
No, I don't have equipment.
Okay. Neither do I. Yeah, it's okay.
But a friend of mine, Anastasio, has the whole tech. Everything, everything that you saw on the live stream that I did. It was at his place, and actually, this is what he's doing. He has everything, and
right.
It's his business. He's doing that thing.
I was going to ask you if you had a chance to play on any of that new gear, like the CDJ 3000s or the V10 mixer.
Yeah. That's except from the mixer, he had the new CDs, and it was crazy.
Yeah, that display on them is it's like a tablet on the CDJs. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. Are you able to play any music right now with that modular gear in the background? Do you have anything hooked up to the monitors, or is that going to sound like crap coming through the mic?
Thing is that before we we arranged to do the interview, I had something, so perhaps I could play you something.
Yeah, that would be sweet. I can hear it a little bit. Yeah,
we heard the funkiness.
Yeah.
It's fat though. I noticed that in all your Instagram video clips too. Your bass on your tracks is super fat, like super thumping on everything. I even noticed on the tracks that I play live from yours, it's definitely outperforms over some of the other stuff that's released. You probably get a lot of feedback from like other artists too. I mean, they probably love it. You probably get a lot of people that are playing your stuff too.
One of my the way I think, and I try also to my students and everybody, is when they ask me like you now, is when you do production, you should better stick with the basics and try to master them. All right, so if you do a production, just make sure that it's sounds dope. That's the thing. That sounds amazing. That the sound engineering is great. As an A&R also for my label and the music that I hear as a regular listener or DJ, whatever, I prefer a mediocre idea with a banging production than a super idea that has a mediocre mix.
That's really good info to know too, because I would totally agree with you. I've done a couple different mentoring sessions, and the amount of stuff that I'm taking away and just playing with sounds that they already initially had and just really making those sound good, I think that goes a long way. I'm all for better at sounding quality, and you'd be surprised too. I think a lot of stuff that we listen to, like The Weeknd, not really that much going on there, but the audio quality is insane.
It's stunning, man. And to be honest with you, I grew up with American music, okay? And especially the R&B and the hip hop back in the day, it was like 5 instruments. That was it. And the voices were like here. They were slapping you from the whole stereo image. It was in your face, and in the background it was a bass, an 808, a snare, and a hat, and that was it. But the production quality was insane.
Who are some of those R&B or hip hop inspirations that you can think of when that comes to mind?
I was listening to a lot of R&B from the 90s, so all the typical pop, but and also some of the gangster rap.
Sure. Well, it's kind of cool they had that crossover in the 90s too with a lot of that gangster rap and R&B as well, which is really cool.
I believe that a lot of good music was born that era. And right now, I don't know. Right now, it's a little bit messed up.
What is your perception on messed up as far as the state of music, or what do you think could be improved, or where do you think maybe it went wrong?
I'm just a speck in the production industry, all right? Sure. But if I was like the president, if I was an executive, let's say, a CEO in a huge company, I would tend to sign more quality stuff, because as I see it right now, they have the production quality, but taking account, for example, the hip hop and the R&B that it's playing right now. First of all, it's not hip hop, it's trap.
Yes.
And I don't know what kind of skills all these guys they have. It's just, to my ears, everybody sounds the same. Everybody sounds like the algorithm of autotune.
Sure. I can see that. I would agree with you on that one, for sure.
Don't ask me these things, man. I'm really old school.
I listen to weird stuff though. That's why I ask it. I totally listen to weird music, and I'm always showing my friends stuff, and they're like, "Dude, I've never heard of this band, or I've never heard of this artist before," and it's just obscure. So I'm for it because I think there's a lot of music out there that should be on the bigger scale than what it actually is, especially for the original sound that we're kind of talking about and the artistry around that. There's a lot of originality. It just doesn't get the wave player, the airwaves that it should.
Yeah, that's the thing, Mitch, that, you know, you're turning the conversation into a philosophical talk, because I don't know how people, I don't know why, especially right now, people don't examine and don't get into finding the good music, especially when they have such plethora of sources. You know, when I was 15, 14, we didn't have internet. There was no internet. There were just pirated radio stations and the record shop, and that was my education. Right now, kids have everything. They have like Spotify and YouTube and you name it. Okay, they just go to top 20 and top 40 and that's it. Sure. And I'm like, why? There's so much good music, as you said. All right.
I definitely think there's a lot of people out there that are digging more now than ever with the vinyl boom. Again, a lot of people have been to vinyl. That kind of made that a little bit more eclectic as far as music. But you're totally right. I mean, the top 20, it's always the beatport competition is real. Who can get to the top?
You know, I'm not saying that you have to go to the other side and being like a super audio holic or whatever. Sure. I'm just saying that when you have a plethora of to select sounds and get inspired or whatever, just don't listen only to the top 40. All right, there's other music as well, and that is going to, the same thing is, if I can say, it's valid for the labels as well, and the A&Rs and everybody, and the DJs.
Right. Yes.
I mean, you listen to DJs, big DJs also, right? Popular DJs, and they all play the same things.
Yeah. I agree with you. I like my promo inbox, but there's a lot of stuff that I pass up. I can't tell you the last time I really took a look at a top chart. That in-flight promo box has been pretty good lately. And then, like I told you, I like to follow artists, not record labels as much anymore nowadays. So if you got a new track out, I'm definitely gonna go check that Ekoboy track out, or whatever, you know, as an example, whatever the case may be. With the time that we have left, I do want to talk about real quick, as we brought up technology. Have you done any research or are planning to dive into the NFT game at all? I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, what's that?
Okay. NFT is a new kind of it's a new kind of way of releasing art, music, and different media in a asset that is through blockchain and cryptocurrency, where you can buy a piece of the artist's work through their own token through blockchain. Blau just sold 17 tracks or 11 tracks for, I think, $11 million through his NFT auction. I'm not joking. Kings of Leon's next. Claude Von Stroke, I think, is about to release his project as well. I ask you this is because I'll send you. We'll talk after this. I'll send you some stuff. But there's a Clubhouse. I don't know if you're on the Clubhouse app at all for all the group chats. The NFT conversation has been huge on there. So that I was going to ask you about that, if you had thought about that at all, selling your music differently or distributing it any other way besides through the record labels, because that seems to be a big discussion always. The Spotify, where's my royalty check? They're not paying artists enough. So I think knowing you being the tech guy, I think you might be into the NFT realm, my friend.
Yeah, I've never heard about this.
It's wild.
You catch me totally off guard. I've never heard of this.
I think I'm going to do a little write-up on Music is for Lovers too on mi4l.com for it, because
please do, man. Please send me some, let's talk after you tell me some things about it.
We will for sure. What's this? Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. I mean, the cryptocurrency thing is like a wild west of, that anyways, and blockchain. A lot of people don't know about it. So, but it's cool. We will chat. So, I mean, we're almost at 45 minutes. I mean, we'll do like a 45-minute interview. I think that's pretty good. What do you think?
Dude, with you I could talk for hours.
Dude, we can totally keep talking. I mean, is there anything else that's been on your mind during quarantine besides the project that you're doing with Looped? I mean, with releasing music. Have you been watching any other artists lately that you're really into?
To be honest with you, no.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
It sounds bad, but yeah, actually...
It doesn't sound bad, dude. It's all right. You're a dad, right? You're a dad.
Yeah,
you're a family man. You're married.
Yeah, I have 2 kids, and it's the best thing ever happened. It sounds cliche, but they're the best thing that ever happened in my life.
I don't think that's cliche. I think everybody says that when they have kids, right? Jeff's a dad. Jeff, best thing ever. Yeah, kids are cool.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. But how has that impacted? How old are the children?
My son is almost 6, and my daughter is 3. So they're little, but
how did that change the music life for you? I mean, it had to in some way, shape, or form.
It's difficult because you try to balance in a correct way your business, your work, and your family, so everybody's happy. Which that translates to wake up early and sleep not like crazy late, but enough to be fresh in next day to go on with your schedule. And it's now with the quarantine and everything, we had the kids in the house, which is a little bit hard because you can't work very, very good.
Sure.
You're trying to build a bit, and someone is coming inside, and it's like, that's great. It sounds good.
Yeah. Have they? So I'm guessing the kids like the music. They love the gear. They want to come in here and twist the knobs and everything, right?
Absolutely, man.
That's cool, man. Absolutely. That's super cool. And then how long do you think? I mean, what do you think? How long do you think we're going to be in this state of quarantine, at least for you in Athens, Greece? How does the future look?
Well, the future looks good in terms of if people believe in the vaccine, and I know that right now some of the people that are watching us are gonna throw rocks on me, and but as you said, I believe in science. All right, I'm a tech guy, so I believe in science. I read books and everything, and I have total trust in science. So I don't know if I'm not awake, but I think that I am. Okay. So I have full trust in science and the vaccines and everything. So as fast people go to vaccinate themselves and everything, we're going to pass this whole thing, this nightmare. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Take our lives back. I've heard a couple of professors that they said that this whole thing, from the production of the vaccine until people start vaccinating, believe in the vaccine and everything, it's gonna take at least 1 more year.
I would probably agree, especially since distribution seems to be a little scarce as well. There's a lot of politics with that involved, but I'm hoping so as well. I want to play shows just like the next guy.
Man. Me too, man. Me too.
But I'm hopeful. I think it's gonna happen. Is there anything else too you want to tell anybody? Like,
what I was discussing with my friends, it's gonna happen like one way or the other. So we are in this weird thing for quite a long time, okay? In the house, not going raves and everything. So imagine that when clubs are open, so 2 things are gonna happen. Everybody's gonna go there and gonna smash it, or they're gonna be like, am I going to the club now? No, fuck
right. No, there's a couple people. I have some friends that are like that. They're like, I don't know if I'm ready to go back. I might have to go for a little bit and then go home early. They're not sure.
They're not sure, man, and it leaves you. I was listening on the radio to a psychologist, and she was saying that this whole thing, that you get used to it because it's around a year now, okay? Mm-hmm. It's gonna leave some sort of stigma. It's like a PTSD, let's say.
Sure.
So even if you get back to the normality and everything is okay, it's inside the people's psyche that they are going to feel somehow they're not gonna trust that easy, the whole situation and the
Right.
whole normality.
Rather they know it or not, they're gonna have that.
Yes.
I think too, for sure, and they're gonna feel it once they get to the venue and once they're shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people and say, oh shit, this is real. I'm in the club right now. Let me go back to the bar real quick. I'm gonna have to double flush it to get through the night. Which I'm actually not even a big drinker anymore through quarantine. I actually kind of slowed down on the drinking. It's been nice.
Me too.
Man. It's been pretty healthy lately. Okay, cool. So you got releases coming up. You have Looped. You have the sample pack. You have your own record label. You have the kids. You have producing, sound designing. I mean, what else? I mean, you're a businessman. You're a DJ, producer, artist, enthusiast. What else are we doing? Is there anything else you want to leave us with?
You said in
that's it.
2 sentences my whole life. That's what I'm doing now, and I'm really happy.
That's awesome.
I'm not thinking of going big or whatever. I like small things and they are in order. That's what I like.
I think a lot of people in their lives one day hope that they get to say that and strive for that kind of thing. Even when you get to the top and you might be making it, sometimes things can be out of order and it might not be where you want to be or you're not happy. So I commend you for being happy and killing the music game. I can't wait for your sample pad to come out, the tracks to come out.
Dude, thank you so much. I don't know if I kill the game or anything. I just do my thing, and I'm humble. That's the secret for me, And I know that if things go crazy or whatever, I'm just gonna be the same. Because at the end of the day, you're just spinning records, all right? You're just creating music, and that's it.
I think a lot of the people that have been doing it through quarantine though are the ones that are coming out on top still right now. When I reached out to you for that interview, it's because I've been following your music through quarantine, saw your sample packs. I mean, it's a no-brainer. People that really want to do it or really love the music are going to continue to do it no matter the circumstances.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Totally.
We gotta have you.
Thank you so much for reaching out. Thank you so much because
man.
We live in a time that we need support and everything, and you've been a huge supporter from back in the day, and it's crazy that we're doing this interview right now. And thank you so much, man.
Dude, no worries. And I want to thank Jeff for doing the interview and setting it up. No worries, man. That's awesome. And we'll probably have to do another one eventually. This is the first one. It's going to go on mi4l.com. It's going to go on Music is for Lovers on our website. So if you go to www.mi4l.com, you can watch this interview and more to come, hopefully. I know Jimbo James is in the chat right now. I believe you've worked with him before from Music is for Lovers. He's actually tuning in since he's the CEO and editor. So he just wanted to say hello. Yo. And thank you for doing this with us, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I love the team, man. And what you're doing is great. It's one of the things that I told you earlier about the information that people have. And I think that what you're doing, it's great. We need sources of learning things and everything, and continue doing that.
Dude, I will. Thank you so much. And I will definitely continue because you appreciate it as well. Send me over a track that we can play also on like the intro and the outro of this. It may be one of the new ones from the EP. And
Absolutely.
then once it's
something like a music bed too.
A what?
Something that could be used as a bed.
Or yeah, a bed. Maybe we could play in the background through us talking really low volume.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we can feature that in the description.
And then we'll feature it. We'll put everything.
Let's just do a formal closing.
Yeah, we'll do a formal closing.
And then you guys
Okay.
Cool. Vangelis, Ekoboy, dude, thank you so much for chatting in and coming in with us on the Music is for Lovers interview, dude. I really appreciate it.
Mitch, thank you so much, man, for the support and for having me. It's been great. I love the chat, and I hope we do it soon too. Again.
Thank you, man. We will. We'll be in touch. Cheers.